Hello and a very good evening and welcome to the Hampton Netball Show for another Wednesday night. Great to have your company and a big weekend of Hampton Netball happening. We'll have our normal round 14 encounters on Saturday, and then we've got a big contingent of junior and senior netballers heading down to Melbourne for the Association Championships on Sunday. As I welcome Trish Butters. Trish, I know you love these weekends. It's busy, but it's certainly fulfilling at the end of the day.
I always love the very first game and everyone's on the court because that's my job done usually. But yeah, it's a big undertaking getting everyone down, and I think Will and Mike and all the other coaches, we've had a million phone calls and texts the last week, making sure everything's right. So yeah, but it's exciting for the players, and we're really excited as exec and coaches at the team's calibre we're taking down actually.
Yeah, a nice group of players. Now, before we go to our special guest, which is Will Jamieson, the Open Division coach, do you want to stand up and model the new QX3 merch that's available? So we've got McDonald's, Lindock Living, Power Core. I'm not touching your backside there. Sungold, Fresh Local Milk and Southwest TAFE. Absolutely sensational. We've got QX3, absolutely sensational. So thanks to those sponsors too. And good little bit of, I guess, promotion of those great organisations that look after our league.
Yeah, absolutely. And these are the warm-up tops that all our players will be wearing this weekend. And yeah, so taking that sponsorship down to Melbourne.
Fantastic. Hey, let's go to the Zoom and catch up with the Open Division coach that's heading down to Melbourne on Sunday. And I'll speak of Will Jamieson. Will, thanks for jumping on and having a chat, mate. Thanks
very much for having me, guys.
Hey, you must be excited. First year coaching the Hampton League as a whole league. You've got a great young group that you're taking down on Sunday. You must be looking forward to what's going to happen Sunday afternoon down in Melbourne.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's obviously, my first year in the Hampton League is you don't have huge amounts of opportunity to meet players from other teams, but this is giving me that opportunity. I've really enjoyed the last couple of trainings. It's a really great, exciting team with a lot of different, diverse types of players in it. So I can't wait to get started. It should be a great weekend.
I know, Will, when we were first talking about picking a team, you say, I don't know the players from the other club. And you know what, I thought that was a positive. So someone coming in with fresh eyes. Yep. So when the girls turned up for training, it was what they could perform there. And I guess you had seen a few by that time. But so what combinations are you looking forward to seeing on Sunday, Will?
Well, it's a really good question because I think there's going to be different combinations that do a really good job depending on who we have. And I think what's great is that we do have that ability based on who we come up against, who we would have never seen before, to adjust our lineups to sort of suit that. But I think, I think all the defenders have been training really well. So we have Lily, Maddie and Remini. And on the weekend in match play, we tried different combinations there and that worked really strongly, and they all played really well together. And then I think down the goaling end, we've got Holly, who's such a sort of traditional goal shooter, and she's been working really well with Bella and Heidi out the front of her. But then again, we tried a moving circle, which people aren't going to expect, particularly when we do have such a tall shooter. So that's an exciting prospect as well for us.
Hey, Will, what I love about the side you're taking down, obviously a young side, and I guess it's a great way to showcase our league and the youngsters that are going about their business, but I guess I look at it as a bit of a pathway sort of thing as well, because hopefully there'll be some scouts and people looking from, I guess, your VNL teams and so forth, that they can see some of these young girls that have got some really good talent on display, and you never know.
Yeah, exactly. And that's certainly the way I look at it. And, having sort of my background has been within those sort of VNL pathways, and I see a lot of players that do sit in that. And then coming to the Hampton League, there are players, and whilst there are a few that sit within that VNL pathway, a lot of them who are really talented aren't in that pathway. So they deserve to be seen by a lot of these scouts, and I'm sure there's going to be a huge amount of interest, and I'm hoping for the best for them, definitely.
So on Sunday, we've got 7 games. We thought we might have had a few more, actually. So there's obviously 8 teams entered. So 2 9-minute halves. So you have to take the court and, really be switched on right from the very get-go. Have you had a chance to look at the draw, Will, or do you know anything about the other clubs, and who do you think, or the other sides, might be a challenge for us? Any idea?
Yeah, I've had a look at the draw, and I've obviously looked at the teams we play. I've got a few little scouts of my own sort of up in Melbourne, and I know that the Bendigo team is going to be pretty strong. It's actually being coached by a player, Jaden Cowling, who I used to play in the Victorian state team with.
Right.
I understand them to have some BNL players, but I think our strength is no one's seen us. No one's seen the players in our group. So I think that's a great thing for us. But I do think Bendigo will be reasonably strong.
Yeah, because I was really interested to see Geelong this time, and they're traditionally very strong. They have a lot of VNL players in there. And also Ovens and Murray, they're playing. Yep. We know they're always strong. They're always tough. That's one thing we always realise. So, yeah, interesting combinations. But I don't know a lot about a lot of those teams, to be honest.
Yeah, no, me either. Me either.
Hey, Will, before we let you go, it would be silly of us not to talk about the Roosters. Obviously a tough game on the weekend, which resulted in a draw against Koroit. How are you attacking this last 5 rounds before a finals campaign?
Yeah, it's a really interesting time for us. Obviously, we had a really great start to the season, and probably, we obviously went out there to play a style of netball and just hoped it would be sort of good enough to get us in the top 5. So we probably were really excited with where we are. The first half of this second season, I've really used it as an opportunity to try a lot of combinations, change a lot of people around, so that come finals, we do have an idea of what our plan A, plan B, plan C looks like, and against different teams. So the last 5 weeks, and I think the next 3 weeks in particular, we have Warrnambool, Hamilton and North. And I think in that combination, it's probably now for us is about trying to settle our starting 7 or really start to work out what that looks like. So it's exciting for us. I think it's been an interesting season. It feels like it's been a long season, and I think our improvement hasn't necessarily been linear. There's been some bumps and hurdles, but the guys are really excited. And I think, when you don't have experience, enthusiasm and confidence are just as good. So it should be a great couple of weeks, I think.
I think there's such an even competition, as you would agree, obviously with Koroit, Cobden, and you said, the next couple of weeks, even though Hamilton's probably out of that calculations now, they're still going to be wanting to be some of the movers and shakers. And then you've got North Warrnambool. So it's really open.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I think, Hamilton mathematically can still make it. And even if they don't, for us, they're a great team to train against in the lead up. Oh, not train against, but you know what I mean? Play against, because, if they, in any other season, I reckon they would have been a top 5 team. So I think they've just been unlucky with COVID and injury. So for us, it's a great opportunity to have 3 back-to-back really difficult games to get us in the best place possible come finals.
Hey, mate, we've really appreciated your time on the show this evening. Great to catch up with you as always, and best of luck for Sunday. I think it's great for you to be a part of the Hampton League and enjoy your first association championships as a head coach, but also too just the young group you're taking down as well.
Yeah, thank you. Definitely looking forward to it. It should be a great weekend.
Will Jamieson, the coach of the South Warrnambool Roosters and also the Open Division Hampton Netball team, which I think is great. It comes with a lot of expertise and a lot of experience. I think Heidi Jones, I think of who else we got in that side? Those young ones in there.
Yes.
A couple of names.
Belle Baker. Sarah Smith.
Yep.
And then,
Holly
Remy,
and these sort of ones. They're going to love it. Remy Grant.
Coming. Yep. Remy's probably one of the older ones at 27.
Yeah, that's right. But still great for her.
Unfortunately, we lost Carly Watson.
Oh, no.
Carly's nursing an ankle injury from the weekend, and it's understandable. It's five weeks out of finals. Yeah. They'll have to rest that. So, yeah, that's a big out for us, to be honest.
Oh, it's a huge out, because she's probably your real back end, isn't she?
Yeah, she's a very similar player to Rem McCann, though.
Yeah.
And I love Rem. She has put her hand up every year for association champ.
She's a good player.
She loves it and comes down and it is, as you get along and you've been doing it for a lot of years, it is a bit of a trial at times, but she just loves it and just is so vocal on the court.
You'll get 120% out of her. And I know it's an old adage in sport that if you give 110%, but she's just someone that they'll give 120 and she'll give it absolutely everything that she can get.
Yeah, and I, as Will said just before, her and Lily and Maddie Solly, they combined really well on the weekend when they trained together. So we were pretty excited about it. We'd lost Carly, but those 3 got different skills that they bring to the set.
And I think, though, too, as you said, 7 games, you've got 2 9-minute halves. you're going to be moving. So there's going to be some switching and swapping to ensure that you've got peak fitness and you've got no position that's sort of lagging due to, obviously playing so many games and so many minutes that you're going to have those combinations ready to go.
Well, we're pretty happy that we really do it playing 7. All girls playing full games on Saturday, turn around and drive to Melbourne.
Big weekend.
It's a big weekend. So the 15s and 17s are playing 11 prior to the finals. So there'll be some Thai girls because a lot of those girls play 2 games on Saturdays. Yeah. So, we are, as a league, trying to look at how can we manage this. Can we get a bye that weekend?
Yeah.
They have changed the dates a bit. Netball Vic, ideally it'd be better the last week of school holidays. Maybe the bye could come in then and give the girls a bit of an opportunity to play and come in fresh, which would be really nice. And it might sort of encourage other leagues to be in the same boat as us.
Yeah.
It's coming into finals time. People, understandably, don't want to be going out and getting injured.
No, that's right.
Probably bad timing, to be honest.
Good food for thought. That's
it absolutely is.
So we wish all those teams all the very best of luck. Everyone's represented from our young ones all the way up to our Open. It's an exciting weekend and, historically, we've always done pretty well up there, haven't we?
We have. It's been a little while since we've won one now.
But we've been so close a number of times.
We have won it. 13s have won it a few times. 15s have won it. I think 17's won it. I don't think we've ever won an Open. I reckon,
but we've gone
Bendigo
close.
could be hard. We've gone really close. And, you're often competing against, as I said, Geelong, Barwon. They have all the VNL players playing in there. So it's a tricky thing for them. So, fingers crossed. Who knows?
I'd absolutely like, at the end of the day, we want Hampton. We want them successful and doing really well. But from a personal point of view, I'd love to see a couple of these girls get a chance and get a look at it and get a training opportunity with some of these VNL clubs, whether it's the Cougars or whatever it is down in Melbourne, just to taste it because, we've got some talent down here.
Absolutely. And then if you've missed out, there's still that opportunity if you're young enough to go down there. So, it's pathway. And that's how our league look at it. There's a cost to it, of course.
Absolutely.
But we invest in that because that's a pathway for netballers and that's the only pathway they have.
Yeah.
So, it's good.
Absolutely. Hey, let's look at last weekend's results, and we saw some great games, and I guess headlined by the South Warrnambool draw. But we might go to the highlights and go through some of the upsides and of last round number 13. Hamilton taking on the North Warrnambool Eagles. The Eagles getting the job done, 56-48. Vic Grundy playing some great netball there for the Eagles, and Emma Somerville, who's recommitted for next year, along with Callie at the Hamilton Kangaroos. Best on for the Hamilton girls. Yeah,
I really liked Emma's game. You can see there she played against Vic, so they had a great tussle. Vic played really well against her because she's a quality player, and I think they came out pretty even on top for both of their teams. But it was a bitterly cold day up there, really windy. I think it was everywhere, but quite windy. And it was, I don't know, just sort of had a bit of a lacklustre feel to it.
Yeah.
To me, North felt like they could pull away whenever they wanted to. They didn't have Rachel Ryan, she was out COVID protocols, so it was a good win for them.
Absolutely, and the draw here at Victoria Park, this one come down to the wire. No Annie Blackburn for the Roosters, and I believe no Layla Monk for the Croydon Saints. So obviously 2 great players for the respective sides. Would have been a great contest, but South are going so well. But I tell you what, Croydon would have got a lot out of this. Oh,
for sure. And this is the last 2 minutes actually of the game, just before the draw. And I think Casey Owen in her 100th game, and we didn't know that when we interviewed her last week.
No, it always happens just after.
Yeah, but apparently she took a couple of really good intercepts just when South hit the front and took it back to the draw. So, experience comes through.
Oh, she's important. There's no doubt about the way they structure up and so forth. She's really important. And I think, come finals time, we're probably speaking a lot about the Souths and the Cobdens.
Yes.
If Croy can get up going, get that, that full side, and I guess with no basketball commitments hindering as well and so forth. Yeah, they're dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely dangerous. And I was talking to Dot Jenkins, who went out and had a look at the game, and she said it was a great game. Played in really good spirits. It was not a tough, it was a really tough game, as in both teams were competing really hard, but not rough. Played in really lovely spirits. So she was pretty happy with it.
Next game's Camperdown taking on the Portland Tigers, and the Magpies. Their form's been great of the last few weeks, and they got the job done, 64-44. Lily Eldridge, what a first year she's had, named best on court, and Heidi Jones was one of the best for the Portland Tigers. But The young ones under Coach Sinnott doing a good job.
That was a great win by them, to be honest. I was really quite surprised. I know COVID have hit Portland at this particular point in time, and I know they had players trying to play across Div 1 and then Open and backfill in both those teams. So, but you know, I think you can't take it away from that Camperdown team. They are building, and everyone I talked to said, you know, don't go into that game and think it's going to be an easy one. They've done a great job up there.
They have. We're going to get Leah Sinnott on next week as
well.
well.
Yeah, that'll be fabulous.
So she's good to go for next week, Leah. So
good.
we'll catch up with Leah and have a chat about them. And the last game we're going to have a look at is the Cobden Bombers taking on Port Fairy, and the Bombers just flexing their muscles, Trish. 59-25. Sophie Blaine, great season she's had to date. Best on court, Tessa Allen, the named best for the Seagulls.
It's always interesting. I think Cobden, you know, they've just got so many winners across the court, and you see that each week when it comes up their best players. It's always someone different.
Yeah.
And that's a sign of a really good team, and that it does, you know, it's not a team of stars. It's a really good team. You know, and that makes you dangerous in the finals.
They're determined, I think, this year.
I think they are
Aren't
too.
they? They're very
Nadine
determined.
said
They've
that
been so close.
The coldest day she's ever played at netball. It was a really bitter day on Saturday.
They've been so close.
Yeah.
And I think if they were able to get it this year, that would mean so much to that group. Because a lot of them have been around for a long time. Rennie McCann, Nadine's been around for a little while. Sophie Hinckley's been part of the program for a long time.
And really felt they were robbed 2 years ago, which they probably were, going for Premiers and Champions.
Yep.
And then, you know, they really had a top side that year.
Yep.
But, you know, that's just the way things are, and they're still hanging out for that first premiership.
Absolutely, and they're going to go close. There's no doubt about it. I think it's going to be a great final series.
Yeah.
And the last game, Warrnambool got the job done over Terang Mortlake, 53-30. The Worm, Amy Wormel, named best on court for the Blues.
Yeah.
And Amy Maloney named best for the Bloods.
A lazy 42 goals again from Amy.
Yeah. She's another one. Like, we speak about Cobden and premierships. Amy Wormel, league best and fairest. You know, well, do you reckon we'll see it? I'd love to. She's good.
Every year we say it, we think, last year she came runner-up,
Yeah.
I'm correct in saying that, and I know Mike thinks so. I think they picked her on the radio that they thought she was their pick for the Dot Jenkins medal.
Yep.
Be a great thing to win for the first time,
I still reckon my tip's going to go pretty close, though.
Yeah,
Watson. But even though missing a couple of games, or missing a game there a few weeks ago.
You know, she has a bit of probably other players that will take votes of her. That's my only thought.
That's the thing. Yeah.
But I think that's everywhere. So that's where Amy, you know, she is a standout in her team. So
yeah, good player.
Hey, you can never pick it.
Absolutely.
We can't pick it. We're not umpires.
Hey, let's look at the top five. Listen, Hamilton mathematically can get in there, but everything has to go right, and then there's reliance on other teams and so forth dropping games. So I think I'm confident in saying that the top five, as it stands, will be the teams that will play in the final. So South are on top at the moment from Cobden, Koroit sitting in third, North Warrnambool fourth, and Warrnambool fifth. Now, I think there's not much in regards to points. I think we've got Koroit and North Warrnambool both on 38 and the Blues on 36. So there's only 2 points.
And Cobden on 40.
And Cobden on 40. So
tight.
Anything could happen in this next 5 weeks from really... Well, you know, South could probably be in there as well if they had a couple of real bad weeks. But from second to fifth, so much can change over the next couple of weeks.
Tight as, and, you know, like South play Warrnambool this week. You know, that it's a big game for Warrnambool.
Yeah, North play South in a couple of weeks.
And, you know, North are up against Portland, and we know Portland. They,
Koroit play Warrnambool.
Beat them last time round. Anything can happen in those sort of games. And it's all, like, as Will alluded to, it's now about getting your best 7 on court and trying to keep them on court. And I think everyone's trying to do that. And I think there's still a bit of sickness go around. Like COVID, we're all back in masks at school. You're just never sure at the moment. No. So it'll be interesting. And I think it might have a little bit to say what happens in finals. But I'm confident that top 5 is not set. Those 5 people will be in there.
Those teams will be in there.
I think, you know, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th.
Well, Warrnambool's big fortnight comes up now. They've got South this week and they've got Cobden next week. Yes. So that's 2 big weeks for them. So that will make that could make or break their top 3 aspirations. And then, as you said, you know, South and North playing a couple of weeks.
North have got Portland. Then they've got Port Fairy.
I think Cobden and Koroit this week. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, Cobden Croydon this week.
So that's, some
It's a big round again.
Oh, yeah. Some big,
we might be looking at a different 5 next. Well, we will be looking at a different 5 because someone's going to win, someone's going to lose.
That's
Cobden
right.
Croydon, that's a big one.
Well, let's have a look.
Let's
have a look who's going to win and lose. South Warrnambool will take on Warrnambool our first game. Where do you see this one going?
Well, I can't go past South. As we know, I just said, Carly's got a niggling injury, but, I think she's nursing it and it will be right to play. But I think South might have the power to maybe challenge Amy, and I think that will be their strength. So I'm going South.
Historically have great games and always close. I think the Roosters as well. Now, a big shout out to the Roosters as well. Sarah O'Donnell, who used to be Sarah Walsh, the great daughter of the great Gary Walsh. 300 games this weekend, which is an enormous achievement. Sarah's has been a part of that fabric at the netball for South Warrnambool for a number of years.
Yes.
Here's a couple of little stats. So thanks to one of our long-time viewers, Lisa Battistello. Has played all junior grades, Open Division 1 and now Division 2, current Division 2 player, Division 1 premiership player, multiple club best and fairest winner, current under-17 reserve coach, and an amazing, beautiful person is what I got in the message from Lisa. So, Says, congratulations. Hopefully Big Jez has got the banner all sorted up for you out there with the kids and so forth, but wish you all the very best of luck on the weekend in your 300th game. Cobden take on Croydon.
Ooh, this is a toughie.
This is a toughie. Second versus third, 2 points separate.
And I know there's no Mermaids games this weekend.
So
they've got the bye, which works in really well for our association champs. Because at least they're available on Sunday.
Kate Dobson will be probably going,
yes. Probably have a choice of the whole team this weekend.
Right.
This will be interesting.
That's the round for mine.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. I actually hadn't looked ahead and seen that.
Yep.
I'm really struggling. Look, I know Nadine watches the show and she'll give me a hard time on the weekend if I go against Cobden. So I'll go Cobden because it's at Cobden.
Yep.
But gee whiz, this wouldn't now surely Croydon can't get four draws in a year. That would be
unbelievable because
three's got to be historical.
8 wins, 2 losses and 3 draws.
3 draws. I don't know that I've heard that before.
That could be a league record.
Yeah, well, I hope
I'll
it's not
Mike
4.
to go through the record books and sit through and see what he can find. But you're right.
That is a lot. Surely they wouldn't get 4, but I think it'll be close.
If I had a coin, I'd be putting one side Croydon, one side Cobden. I'd be flipping it, and whoever lands would be who I'd be picking because I think it's that kind of game.
Me too. I think it'll be really tight. I'll go Cobden by 1.
There you go.
Where are you going?
I'm going to go to the Saints.
On the line.
I'm going to go to the Saints. I've been on the Saints band for the last couple of weeks. I like the direction they're going.
Yes.
Port Fairy take on Camperdown. That's our Hampton League Live match of the day. I reckon this one's got a bit of intrigue about it too because I reckon Port Fairy's best is certainly capable of registering a win here. But in saying that, Camperdown's last 4 weeks have been pretty solid.
Absolutely. I think they match pretty well against one another. They're young and there's not a lot of experience right across that. They're
young
both
and emerging.
teams the same. And I mean, you can't go against Camperdown. I was just pumping their tyres up before, so I have to pick them. But I think anything could happen. But it'd be nice for Port Fairy to get a win this year. But I don't think it's this week.
You don't think it's this week?
No.
I think Camperdown just for me as well. Performance been pretty good. Hey, Terang Mortlake take on Hamilton Kangaroos. I think the Kangaroos are playing as good a netball as you would see from a team that's outside the 5. And you look at their last few weeks when they've played the higher ranked teams, they have been pushing them. And, on the weekend, 8 goals against North Warrnambool, who I think is almost nearly the most informed side of the last month.
Yeah, I agree. They play pretty well. And I think the height at Hamilton. The thing that I was watching all their other grades and they've got tall shooters nearly in every grade. And I thought, where do these girls come from? So much height up there. Yeah. Don't know what's in the water. But I think that will be a real worry for Terang Mortlake, the height. They won't have that to contend with. Yep. I know they've had a few injuries. Emma Lucas going out with a broken arm about a month ago now. Yeah. That's really hurt them. Yep. So I was talking to Sharon on Sunday night and she's like, they're still pushing it. But I think once you lose that confidence, it's hard to get back. They're playing on a lot of confidence at the start. Now it's hard to keep that confidence.
I think if they can consolidate just the last 5 games and then really work on for a big off-season to have another good tilt at it next year? Because I think their best is certainly good enough to be playing finals.
They've got a lot of good juniors coming through, and they're only going to get better by having this experience for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think the Kangaroos as well. And as I said too, great that Emma Somerville, Kelly Somerville have come out already this week and have, more or less committed to next year, which is great. I think. And they've had a few footballers too, the Kangaroos. So their social media is fantastic, the Hamilton Kangaroos.
Oh, okay, you're into it. I must join.
They are
Don't
good.
get all this
actually, all the clubs are.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Croy, Cobden, all fantastic. But the Kangaroos, both with the football and netball, do a great job. It's really, really good. And the last game, North Warrnambool will take on Portland.
I think North Warrnambool. I think they have to win.
Well, they do have to win because they've got a top 3 spot there to be fighting for.
And I think they got beaten last time in the last quarter after leading all day, and I think that's smarting with them a bit, they'll be really determined to win this weekend. They've got a bit more to play for than Portland. I don't think Portland can make it anymore, but as we keep saying, they can shake the 5 and they'll be trying to do that. So, I think North. Yeah,
I think North as well. I think, that carrot of trying to get a double chance is certainly well and truly in their sight. So, should be a great round of netball. Round 14, I can't believe we're this far into the season. Like we've got 5 rounds to go and then we're talking finals. Now, question without notice. Finals venues. Are we getting closer to when they're going to be announced? I know you're on the executive.
We're working on it. We've started our junior ones, but, we need to work out what's going on with the Reed Oval and then we'll work back from there.
Don't start us on that.
No, I know. I know Shane and the District League and the Council are sitting down and have a meeting and see where we go with that. I see the women's finals here this Sunday. So that'll be a good trial. But there's a few things that need to be improved before we, we'll probably think about it. And that's a big thing for us because that's our number one priority. We
don't want you guys having to spend more money on toilets and stuff. But anyway, that's a discussion for another day. Hey, been a great show. Really looking forward to this weekend. Obviously, Open Championships in the juniors on Sunday up in Melbourne. What's the venue? Where is it? Is that the
State Netball and Hockey Centre, which is now called the Melbourne Sports Centre. It's all undercover. It's brand new. It looks spiffy. I walked past it when we were on camp the other week and I thought, this is good.
So no one's going to get hypothermia playing on the outdoor courts or anything?
No injuries. I remember girls were talking on the weekend. I remember a girl went slippery caught outside, elbow went one way. It was very ugly and it was quite unsafe. But it's all indoors. It'll be lovely. Yep,
looking forward to it. And you'll have on the Hampton League Facebook page and stuff, just updated results and so forth.
And anyone wants to know, if you get onto Netball Connect, live scoring up all day, live ladders, you'll be able to see it as it's been played in Melbourne. You just need to join up and then follow a team. If you want to follow all the teams, you can, but if you've got an interest in one team, just follow that team and it'll just keep popping up for you. It's got a few things wrong with the Netball Connect, but it's improving. First time we're doing live scoring this weekend, so that'll be interesting. But, it looks okay, so we'll wait and see.
Touch wood.
As long as the phones don't go down, we're right.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, a big shout out to all of our sponsors as well. And Trish had our 4 majors on the back there, along with Southwest Tape. So Lingdoc Living, McDonald's, Sungold Milk, Power Core and Southwest Tape, some of our big sponsors of the Hampton Football Netball League. But then there are other ones as well, QX3, Warrnambool Racing Club, Warrnambool Football Club, Tootie Carter and the Carter Group, Karis and Toot do a great job. And I know you're still getting used to having Toot to stand behind
over your shoulder.
Fresher fruit juice, Chittix pies. We're just blessed with so many great sponsors. So it's
Miss Kit?
Miss Kit,
yes. Have we had a Miss Kit winner? We haven't even.
I haven't even had a look.
No, we'll save it to next week.
We'll do a double whammy for next week. We'll do the double whammy and we'll get those vouchers out. Hey, good luck on the weekend. We know it's a busy one for you, Saturday and Sunday.
Take
it easy and best of luck to all of those teams representing the Hampton League on Sunday. We'll see you next Wednesday night.